on the shocking killing of the high school math teacher.
But Philip Chisholm is refusing to enter the courtroom.
He didn't have the amount of friends as everyone else.
It's hard to imagine how a 14-year-old boy could commit such a heinous crime. But it happened. Chisholm, a 14-year-old boy, plotted and killed his teacher in a cold-blooded murder. What drove this young boy to do such things? Was it a mental illness, a history of abuse, or something else entirely? Warning: this story is disturbing and may not be suitable for all viewers. Philip Chisholm was born in the year 1999, January. Chisholm had recently located from Tennessee to Danvers, Massachusetts, where he wasn't particularly well known at the school, other than for being an excellent soccer player in fall of 2013. According to a source, he was antisocial, and additionally, it was said that at the time of the crime, his mother was going through a challenging divorce. That, I think, would have been part of his challenge. Ritzer, who was the victim, who is said to be an amazing lady, always joyful, was known to go out of her way to assist her students in arithmetic. Chisholm was also no different in her eyes. After class, Ritzer complimented Chisholm on his sketching abilities, and a student overheard her asking him to remain after school so she could help him study for a test. She was unaware of the scheme Chisholm had set against her. Awful. She was just trying to help. Chisholm followed Ritzer into the school restroom at the end of the school day, used a box cutter to rope, rape, and kill her, then carried her body to the woods behind the school. He then went into town and bought a movie ticket with Ritzer's credit card. Can you imagine that? And when the police caught him the next morning, Chisholm had not washed his hands, and his hands were still covered in Ritzer's blood. The victim's parents, siblings, co-workers, and friends described this amazing lady as a young woman who loved her job, her pupils, and life, who never had a bad word for anyone. Her favorite color was pink, and many of them wore pink to honor her. You may ask how her gruesome murder affected her family. The mother of the victim said that the death of her daughter left her very broken. I understand how she felt, imagining her daughter going through all that trauma before being murdered. She said it's so tough for her to pretend to be happy. She now keeps her distance from the people she loves. Tom Ritzer, her father, in pain, said that he believed he had let his daughter down. That's a very touching statement. I failed to defend Colleen, he said. A dad's responsibility to fix things. If I could solve this for Colleen, I would do anything. On the other hand, Diane, Chisholm's mother, sobbed subtly when her son was handed the punishment for his crime. In a statement, she expressed her sympathy to Ritzer's family, stating that words can't describe the amount of suffering and sorrow these past years would have been for them. Chisholm, dressed in a suit and somewhat wonky tie, observed everything, including the defense lawyer attempting to defend him and the prosecution. During his trial, he watched a video of himself while McDougall explained how each action he took led him closer to his end aim. His defense attorney claimed that the only explanation for his action was a result of insanity. Why else, questioned his counsel, Denise Reagan, would a good-hearted, intelligent, and loving 14-year-old commit these terrible acts? She asked. Reagan described an unattached youngster while apologizing for consulting her notes in a low voice, being forced into a school and town where he knew no one and had no place to hide after being uprooted from his Tennessee home. She cited Dr. Richard Dudley, an expert witness for the defense who has spent decades assessing children and teenagers with severe mental problems. He thinks Chisholm has heard voices since he was 10 years old. According to Reagan, Chisholm was diagnosed as psychotic with a different psychiatrist who also prescribed him an antipsychotic drug. Philip Chisholm was not himself when he followed Miss Ritzer into the restroom, Reagan said. He was just responding to the terrifying command to hallucinations in his head. He only followed and was acting based on the hallucinations. He didn't decide to act that way normally. However, the horrifying videos of Chisholm escorting Ritzer into the girls' bathroom were once more shown to the jury. McDougal, the prosecutor, took them through Chisholm's movements. She tried to yell, but her voice was still trembling from emotions. She walked them through his actions, how he went for the box cutter in his pocket, how he put on his hoodie, fixed his gloves, and went to the bathroom. The bathroom door was opened. She added that although all the above actions demonstrate deliberate premeditation, none matter as much as one, the image of Colleen in the woods. According to McDougal, the defendant painted a picture of Colleen that was naked, battered, abused, and violated. The presence of Chisholm's backpack and school ID was not evidence of irrationality, as claimed by his attorney, but rather, according to McDougal, a terrible signature for his crime. For the first time, McDougal put up the theory that Ritzer had passed away in the nearby woods rather than the girls' bathroom on the second level. Why else, McDougal wondered? Was Chisholm so determined to get a friend out of the girls' toilet where he had just attacked Ritzer that afternoon? She claimed that he was afraid she could cry or crawl away. He doesn't think he's murdered her yet, McDougal added. She went ahead to say when Ritzer arrived in the woods, the victim was still alive. She said that she believes that. That is where he concluded his sexual assault and carved those large wounds in her body, because he was interrupted in the bathroom. We know Philip Chisholm didn't get to finish what he started in the bathroom, she said. It seems that McDougal's conclusion had as its main topic finishing what he had started and gaining what he desired. Hours after the assault, he discreetly avoided the store employees while stealing a knife from a BJ's wholesale club. McDougal claimed that this was just another instance of Chisholm doing and getting what Philip Chisholm wanted. Almost all of the defense experts' testimony, according to McDougal, was based on Chisholm's own claims, so she didn't spend much time disputing it. She said the same privilege won't be available to jurors. According to McDougal, we hope that the world is predictable, that anything dreadful has a purpose and a reason. Nobody in this courtroom, according to McDougal, wants to believe that a 14-year-old boy could have done this and not been crazy. However, doing something so awful like this does not turn a person insane. It's shocking to learn that he mistreated his 24-year-old math teacher, Colleen Ritzer, at his age. Chisholm was sentenced to life in prison, with a chance of parole on 25 years. On counts of rape and robbery, he also received a concurrent 40-year sentences. Sadly, many heinous crimes like this go unsolved for a while. But when we come across cases like these that make certain people feel that justice was served, the confidence of people in the justice system gets renewed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more interesting cycling content like this one. See you next time.